Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a hot topic in education: free college tuition. Why are so many colleges and universities offering it? How is it being paid for? What will it lead to? We'll answer these questions and more in today's deep dive. So grab your notebooks and let's get started. Let's kick things off with one of the primary reasons colleges are moving towards free tuition: increasing access to education. Higher education has long been seen as a ticket to better job prospects and higher earnings. However, the rising costs of tuition have placed this ticket out of reach. For many, particularly those from low-income families, by offering free tuition, colleges aim to reduce financial barriers and make higher education accessible to a wider range of students. Imagine a bright student from a low-income family who dreams of becoming a doctor, but is discouraged by the hefty tuition fees. Free tuition programs can turn that dream into a reality. This initiative is not just about numbers. It's about real lives and real opportunities. Colleges are recognizing that to tap into the full potential of their communities, they need to make education affordable for all. There is a certain beneficial burden of higher education across different types of institutions in the United States. For private colleges, the average tuition and fees are slightly higher at $41,426. This high cost reflects the premium often associated with private education, which may include smaller class sizes, specialized programs, and additional resources. In contrast, out-of-state students at state schools face an average cost of $27,120. This category highlights the additional expenses incurred by students who do not qualify for in-state tuition, demonstrating the financial premium placed on those attending public institutions outside their home state. Lastly, for state residents at public colleges, the average cost drops substantially to $11,260. This low figure underscores the benefits of in-state tuition, which is often subsidized by state governments, to make higher education more affordable for residents. Overall, this chart underscores the significant variation in tuition costs based on the type of institution and the residency status of the student, highlighting the financial challenges faced by those pursuing higher education in the U.S. Free tuition programs are also about promoting equity. In many parts of the world, education is a significant factor in socio-economic mobility. However, systemic inequalities often mean that underrepresented groups such as first-generation college students, minorities, and economically disadvantaged individuals face more barriers to higher education. By offering free tuition, colleges are working to close these gaps in educational attainment. Consider the case of first-generation college students. These are students who are the first in their families to attend college. They often face unique challenges such as lack of guidance on the college application process and financial constraints. Free tuition can alleviate some of these pressures, making it easier for these students to pursue their educational goals and ultimately improve their socioeconomic status. Another reason colleges are offering free tuition is to respond to the demands of a modern workforce. As our economy evolves, the need for a skilled workforce becomes increasingly critical. Many industries, particularly those in healthcare, technology, and education, are experiencing a shortage of qualified professionals. Free tuition programs can support the development of a more educated and prepared workforce to meet these demands. Take community colleges and vocational programs, for example. These institutions often focus on training students for high-demand fields. By offering free tuition, they can attract more students to these programs, helping to fill crucial gaps in the workforce. This not only benefits the students who gain valuable skills and job opportunities, but also the economy as a whole. Now let's talk about the political and public pressure that's driving the free tuition movement. Education is a hot topic, and voters are increasingly demanding more affordable options. Many state and local governments are responding to this demand by funding free tuition programs. This not only helps address the rising costs of college, but also aligns with broader political efforts to reduce student debt and expand access to higher education. Programs like New York's Excelsior Scholarship and Tennessee Promise and prime examples of government-supported initiatives. These programs offer free tuition to eligible students at public colleges, making higher education more accessible to a larger population. The popularity of these programs among voters shows that there is strong public support for making education more affordable. One of the biggest financial burdens facing college graduates today is student loan debt. According to the Federal Reserve, the total student loan debt in the United States has reached over $1.7 trillion. This staggering amount of debt can have long-term effects on graduates' financial stability and overall well-being. Free tuition programs aim to alleviate this burden by minimizing or eliminating the need for loans, allowing students to focus on their studies and future careers without the weight of debt. Imagine graduating from college without the looming shadow of debt. Free tuition programs can provide this peace of mind, enabling graduates to start their careers on a strong financial footing. This can lead to increased consumer spending, economic growth, and a more financially secure population. You might be wondering, how are these free tuition programs being paid for? The answer varies depending on the program, but common sources of funding include state and local governments, private donations, endowments, and partnerships with businesses and industries. Statewide initiatives like New York's Excelsior Scholarship and Tennessee Promise are funded through state budgets. These programs allocate a portion of state funds to cover the cost of tuition for eligible students. In some cases, local governments also contribute to the funding, particularly for community college programs. Private institutions like Princeton University often use endowments and donations to fund their free tuition programs. These schools may offer free tuition to students below certain income thresholds, using their financial resources to make education more accessible. Community college partnerships are another common funding model. Many states and localities provide free tuition at community colleges as part of efforts to expand access and workforce training. These programs often receive funding from a combination of state and local governments, as well as businesses and industries that benefit from a well-trained workforce. Free tuition programs have the potential to lead to numerous positive outcomes, both for individuals and society as a whole. Let's explore some of these benefits. Number 1. Increased college enrollment and completion rates. By reducing financial barriers, free tuition programs can increase college enrollment and completion rates. More students from diverse backgrounds will have the opportunity to pursue higher education, leading to a more educated and skilled population. This, in turn, can result in higher overall graduation rates and a more competitive workforce. Number 2 is greater economic mobility. Education is a proven pathway to economic mobility. By providing free tuition, colleges can help more individuals improve their socioeconomic status. This can lead to a reduction in poverty rates and greater economic stability for families and communities. Number 3 is reduced student loan debt. As mentioned earlier, one of the biggest benefits of free tuition programs is the reduction of student loan debt. Graduates who do not have to repay large student loans can invest in their futures more effectively, whether it's buying a home, starting a business, or saving for retirement. This financial freedom can lead to a stronger economy overall. While free tuition programs offer many benefits, there are also potential negative outcomes that need to be considered. Number 1 is funding challenges. One of the main challenges of free tuition programs is securing sustainable funding. Relying on state budgets, private donations, and endowments can be unpredictable, especially during economic downturns. If funding sources dry up, colleges may struggle to maintain their free tuition initiatives. Number 2 is increased enrollment strains resources. An influx of students due to free tuition programs can strain college resources, such as classroom space, faculty, and student services. This can lead to larger class sizes, overworked faculty, and decreased quality of education. Colleges need to plan carefully to ensure they can accommodate the increased demand without compromising the quality of education. Number 3 is potential devaluation of degrees. Some critics argue that offering free tuition could lead to an oversupply of college graduates, potentially devaluing the worth of a degree. If everyone has access to free higher education, it may become more difficult for graduates to stand out in a competitive job market. This could lead to increased underemployment and frustration among graduates. Number 4 is limited focus on other forms of education. While free tuition programs are a great way to promote higher education, they can sometimes overshadow the importance of other forms of education, such as vocational training and apprenticeships. It's essential to recognize that not every student wants or needs a traditional college education. Expanding access to vocational and technical training programs is also crucial to meeting workforce demands and providing diverse educational opportunities. These are survey results from 4,000 people, illustrating varied opinions on the topic of free tuition in Germany. 2 years after its implementation in universities, initially, the opinions are nearly split, with 43.9% favoring free tuition and 46.1% opposing it. However, when respondents are informed that college graduates typically earn more, support for free tuition rises significantly to 50%, while opposition drops to 38.4%. Furthermore, when presented with the idea that graduates could repay their tuition based on their income, support surges to 59.5%, with opposition decreasing to 30.2%. This suggests that while there is initial skepticism, providing additional context about the economic benefits of higher education and introducing income contingent repayment plans can substantially increase public support for free tuition policies. The data highlights the impact of framing and additional information on public opinion regarding educational funding policies. To illustrate how free tuition programs are being implemented, let's take a look at a few examples. Number 1 is New York's Excelsior Scholarship. Launched in 2017, the Excelsior Scholarship offers free tuition to eligible students attending public colleges and universities in New York State. To qualify, students must meet certain income requirements, be enrolled full-time, and maintain good academic standing. The program is funded by the state budget and aims to make higher education more accessible to New York residents. Number 2 is Tennessee Promise. The Tennessee Promise program provides free tuition to recent high school graduates attending community or technical colleges in Tennessee. The program is funded through a combination of state lottery revenues and donations. It requires students to complete a certain number of community service hours and maintain a minimum GPA. Tennessee Promise aims to increase college enrollment and completion rates while addressing the state's workforce needs. Number 3 is the Princeton University's free tuition program. Princeton University offers free tuition to students from families earning up to a certain income threshold. This program is funded by the university's endowment and generous donations from alumni and other benefactors. By providing free tuition, Princeton aims to attract talented students from diverse economic backgrounds and ensure that financial constraints do not hinder their educational pursuits. These charts from the campaign for free college tuition provides a detailed look at public opinion on various aspects of free tuition at public universities and colleges. It comprises 2 parts, a set of bar charts displaying current support levels and a timeline showing trends over several years. Number 1, state-provided free tuition. Overall support, all. 76% support, 42% somewhat support, 34% strongly support. Democrats or Dem, 93% support, 32% somewhat support, 61% strong support. Republicans or Rep, 61% support, 26% somewhat support, 35% strongly support. Independents, 69% support, 33% somewhat support, 36% strongly support. At number 2, Federal Program for Free Community College. Overall support, all. 80% support, 49% somewhat support, 31% strongly support. Democrats, 94% support, 25% somewhat support, 69% strongly support. Republicans, 65% support, 29% somewhat support, 36% strongly support. Independents, 76% support, 33% somewhat support, 43% strongly support. Federal Program for Free Tuition at Public 4-Year Colleges. Income below $125,000. Overall support, 73% support, 42% somewhat support, 31% strongly support. Democrats, 92% support, 37% somewhat support, 55% strongly support. Republicans, 59% support, 26% somewhat support, 33% strongly support. Independents, 69% support, 37% somewhat support, 32% strongly support. Trends over time. The overall support for state-provided free tuition at public universities from December 2016 to January 2023. Support generally remains high, fluctuating between 70% and 81%, showing consistent public favorability over the years. Overall strong support. The general public shows substantial support for free tuition. Initiatives with overall approval rates consistently above 70%. Political division. There is a clear partisan divide, with Democrats showing overwhelming support, over 90% for all initiatives. Republican support is lower but still significant, ranging from 59 to 65%. Independent voters. Support among independents aligns more closely with the overall averages, indicating broad nonpartisan approval. Increased support with specific provisions. Programs with defined benefits, such as 2 years of free community college or income-based free tuition, see increased overall support, suggesting public favorability towards targeted, practical solutions. As more colleges and universities adopt free tuition initiatives, it's crucial to monitor their impacts and continuously improve the programs to ensure they meet the needs of all students. The ultimate goal is to create a system where financial barriers do not prevent anyone from pursuing their educational dreams and contributing to the betterment of society.